All right, let's talk about something that might just fix some of the biggest headaches for anyone making AI art. It's called Nano Banana 2, and it's making some pretty big promises about ending all those frustrating fails that get in our way. So let's see if it actually lives up to the hype. You know that feeling, right? You're trying to build a cool storyboard, but your main character's face completely changes in every single frame. Or you ask for a poster with some simple text, and you just get a bunch of unreadable gibberish. Or maybe you needed a scene from history, and you got something that looks like it's from a generic fantasy movie. Yeah, these are the exact problems that have been holding AI art back for so long. Well, Nano Banana 2 claims it can solve all of that. So we're going to put it through some serious stress tests today. We're talking character consistency, real-world accuracy, text that you can actually read, and pinpoint creative control. Let's dive in. Okay, first up, let's tackle the big one, character consistency. I mean, for anyone trying to tell a story with pictures, whether that's a comic book, a film storyboard, whatever, this is the absolute holy grail. We've all been there. You generate the perfect character in one shot, but the second you try to put them in a new scene or even just a different pose, they look like a totally different person. It makes creating any kind of ongoing story next to impossible with most tools out there. So, here's the breakthrough. Nano Banana 2 can keep the look of up to 5 different characters and 14 different objects all consistent in the same scene. Seriously, 5. That is a massive, massive leap forward. To really push this to its limits, the first test was a prompt describing 5 unique characters and a whopping 14 specific objects. And look at the result. It absolutely nailed it. Every single character, every object is right there and totally recognizable. But here's the real proof. The very next prompt changed the entire scene, moved the characters into completely different positions, doing something new, and yet they are perfectly consistent. The faces, the clothes, their whole identity, it's exactly the same. This is the kind of reliability you need to build a real visual narrative. So character consistency is huge, but what about getting facts right? Well, Nano Banana 2 is built on a really powerful model called Gemini 3.1 Flash, and that lets it tap into real-world knowledge. This is what shifts its images from just being creative guesswork to something that's actually grounded in truth. To test this, the prompt was super simple. Create an image of the Great Pyramid being built using only its GPS coordinates and a date. Now, on the left, you see the result from the old version, Nano Banana Pro. It's fine, but pretty generic. But on the right, whoa, Nano Banana 2's version is on another level. The clothing, the tools, even the landscape, it's all way more historically authentic because the AI is basically researching the topic in real time. And check this out. Here's another amazing example of its command of real data. The prompt was just to create an infographic showing the distance of each planet from the sun. Not only is the design super clean and professional, but every single number on there is factually correct. This used to take manual research, data entry, and graphic design. Now, it's just one prompt. All right, let's talk about the elephant in the AI room, that infamous gibberish text. You know, it's been a running joke for years, but it's also been a huge limitation. It looks like Nano Banana 2 has finally cracked the code, giving us clean, legible text. So the test was to generate a super busy Japanese night market, totally filled with glowing neon signs. And the result is this fantastic scene with what look like authentic Japanese characters. It just captures that classic night market vibe perfectly. But believe it or not, that's not even the magic part. Here's where it gets crazy. The next prompt was simply, translate everything into English. And the result is stunning. All the text is now in perfectly readable English, but the layout, the fonts, the colors, that neon glow, it's all completely unchanged. The AI didn't just swap the words, it understood and kept the entire design intact. And this is not just a one-trick pony. They ran the same test, translating the signs into Spanish and then into Korean, and both came back perfect. If you're creating content for a global audience, this is a revolutionary time saver. No more rebuilding designs for every single language. So we've seen consistency, we've seen accuracy, and we've seen text. But how much control do you actually have? This is where the whole process really evolves from just, writing a prompt and hoping for the best to actually directing the AI with incredible precision. To test this, the prompt wasn't just a photo of headphones. It was a product shot with a super detailed list of demands, exact lighting specs, precise angles, how soft the shadows should be, even details about texture. And the results? It's exactly what was asked for, right down to the smallest detail.
But here's where it gets even more impressive. The follow-up prompt was a dead simple command: rotate the headphones 15 degrees to the right. The AI just did it. It executed the change perfectly without messing with the lighting, the shadows, or anything else. That's not just prompting anymore. That is granular, director-level control. Okay, it is time for the final boss, a single creative test that's going to require every single one of these powerful features to work together, all at once. We're talking character consistency, historical accuracy, readable text, and precise composition. So here's the game plan. Step 1, generate 3 unique character portraits from the 1870s. Step 2, use those portraits as image references in one final prompt asking for a movie poster about the construction of the Brooklyn Bridge. And this is the result. A completely convincing, professional-looking movie poster. Look at that. The characters are a perfect match for their original portraits. The text is sharp, it's stylized, and the background details, like the bridge being built, are historically accurate for the 1870s.
So let's just run through the checklist, shall we? Character consistency, check. Historical accuracy, check. Legible, stylized text, you betcha, check. And a precise composition that looks like a real poster, absolutely, check. It pulled everything together flawlessly. This quote really just sums it all up perfectly. I mean, think about the workflow this replaces. You'd normally need to do historical research, cast actors, or search for stock photos, do a whole photo shoot, and then spend hours and hours in graphic design software trying to piece it all together. The big takeaway here is that this isn't just a small step up. This is a fundamental shift in the creative process. Really complex problems that used to require a whole team of people with different skills can now be solved with a single, well-written prompt.
And that really leaves us with one fascinating final question. When the barrier to creating complex, polished, and accurate visual media drops this low, what can a single creator, just one person, now achieve? The possibilities are just mind-blowing. Thanks for joining this explainer.